Up United. Second weekend in a row now. No Man United match. Next weekend, no Man United match. My heart is beating like I was served breakfast. But nevertheless, yeah, there's still a lot to talk about. Man United is always in the news as per biggest club in the world now. So what are we going to be talking about today? We're going to be looking at the rumored 100 million pound transfer budget for January. Is it true? Who do I think we should buy? Where should we strengthen? That will lead us into a look at our young stars. We have quite a number of them. We sent out some on loan. Some are still back at the club. With these investments and even future investments, what's the hope for these youngsters? Will they be able to be brought through the system, or what will happen to them? We'll also look at that. Don't forget, it's Up United channel, a growing and upcoming community of people who love Manchester United. And if you would like to get in on the action, all you have to do is to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, drop your comments. I would love to hear what you think about the club we love and support. Let's get into it. So, January, we have 100 million pounds to spend, apparently. How true is this? I can't really say, but what thing I know is that Man United will spend in January. Because the rebuilding of the summer wasn't quite complete. There were still areas of the squad that Ten Hag wanted to strengthen that he hasn't strengthened yet. By areas of the club, I'm talking about right back. First things first, he wanted a right back, he couldn't get one. A midfielder, remember he wanted Frankie, he couldn't get Frankie. He got Casemiro. I do not think getting Casemiro has solved the problem, because one injury to Christian Eriksen and we are back to where we were before. Christian Eriksen progresses the ball, links the defense and the attack beautifully. Who will do that? McTominay has improved drastically, I must admit, but I don't think he's that type of player. Neither is Casemiro. Bruno can't play deep. He's too he's too wasteful with the ball. So Donny, it's not Fred, by the way. I didn't mention Fred. Definitely not Fred. Donny can be that, but Donny has failed to impress over three different managers. Will he just automatically deliver on deliver the goods? That's who knows. But because of that, we probably will still need one midfielder to come in, and then the striking. Yes, that's another region where we were planning to get a centre forward, not or someone who can play centre forward and play multiple roles. So that's also one place I think we need to strengthen. But the question is, can we actually strengthen all these positions in January with the type of players that we know we need? Because January transfer window is notorious for not being packed with value. You might not be able to do those marquee signings that you probably would do in the summer in January. For example, I do not think we'll be able to prize a Frankie de Jong out of Barcelona in January. In fact, we should dead that deal. I don't see Frankie leaving the Barcelona team the way it currently is, trying to challenge for all possible titles. That looks highly unlikely. But are there still players we can get? I still think so. Let's start with the midfield. I would say Leicester's Yuri Tillemans is the obvious choice. Tillemans knows how to progress the ball. Funny enough, when Tillemans was in Monaco, I had already been following Tillemans from when he was in Belgium. I can't remember the club he was, whether Club Brugge or Anderlecht, but I know it's one of the top Belgian clubs. I had already been following him because he was one of the most written about young midfielders then. And Monaco had a very, very solid youth-driven project then. I felt United would have gone for him. I think we were mentioned in the story some time back, but we didn't go for him. He went to Monaco. While he was leaving Monaco, I still felt United should have gone for this guy. But we slept on that deal and he went to Leicester. Now his contract expires in the summer. We can get him in January, by all means. It's up to Ten Hag. I think he still needs someone to come in and compete with Eriksen and probably rotate with Eriksen. because if Eriksen is injured, it will be a problem. Seriously, it will be a problem. Or if, for example, Eriksen goes through a bad patch of form. It's happened with Bruno. Bruno was excellent when he came in. We didn't have a replacement, and then when his form went down, we were left holding nothing. So we need to be proactive in fixing that. And Yuri Tillemans seems like he's available. With the way Leicester is playing right now, I'm very sure he won't mind a move. We can easily pay cheap money in January and get him. I think it might cost 20 million less or even less than, and we can get him in January. The right back position, obviously, but the thing with the right back position is that with Wan-Bissaka there, it's going to be very difficult to bring in a third right back. What happens to Wan-Bissaka? So in January, as much as we want to get players in, we need to move players out. Players like Phil Jones, we need to move them out. Phil Jones doesn't even have a place in the dressing room again. If January comes by and he's still in that team, then I will assume he has the Glazers nudes. You get, and it's probably blackmailing them. I beg, when I joke, I do. So yeah, those kind of players need to be moved on. So Wan-Bissaka needs to be moved on. Rumor had it that he would have been moved on. West Ham and Crystal Palace showed interest, but their interest came too late in the transfer window for us to be able to get a replacement. So if January comes along and we can get a replacement, then I think by all means we will allow Wan-Bissaka move. We should allow him move. And make space in the team for another right back that can give serious competition to Dalot. The obvious choice would be Denzel Dumfries. I think Ten Hag is the former Ajax player. The same thing links to Ten Hag. Is Dutch. It's like the norm. So yeah, Ten Hag has been rumored to admire him. So Denzel Dumfries would be a good choice. Can we get him in January? Inter have had one or two financial struggles, so it's a possibility. Depends on how much we offer, exactly, and how we can convince Inter to part away with him. And if Inter are still in the Champions League by then, it might make it a harder sell. But yeah, if you ask me, then Dumfries is the obvious choice. But what I would love for the scouting department to do is that can't the scouting department go out and find and unearth gems, diamonds in the rough, players that we do not even necessarily know about, but once we hear their names and we do the research, we are getting excited about them. Come on, you guys do your work. Scouting department, you are being paid. I know Ten Hag has been trying to overhaul a lot of things in the club, with scouting being one of it. Or maybe not overhaul, but driving it in the right direction. So let's see how that pans out. The last position that I think we need to strengthen, obviously the coach thinks so too, is the attack. We need someone who can play centre forward. Considering, or most importantly, for example, if Ronaldo leaves by ending of the summer, because then his contract is up, although we have the option to extend by 1 year, would we take that up? Who knows? But we still need an attacker. And January is still like 3-4 months away. Rumors are already flying around. Ivan Toney, Antoine Griezmann, Cody Gakpo. I think those are the three names that I've heard of recent being linked to Man United in January. What do I think about these guys? Do I think they are true? First things first, Griezmann, nah. I would have taken Griezmann 4-5 years ago, but Griezmann now, I do not see it. We do not need a Griezmann. He will be on expensive wages. Nah, he will not just be the right fit for the project we are trying to build. So I think Griezmann is out of it. Ivan Toney. Toney is an interesting one. I've watched him. He's strong, the quintessential English forward. He has pace, and he's pretty good at holding up the ball and bringing other people into play. He has started the season on fire, gotten an England call-ups, banged in goals, gotten assists as well. Tony would be that choice that he would be an outside choice. There's a player there. Is it a Man United player? I don't know. You get, but if we bought him, coached by Ten Hag, he can do well and he can deliver goals and contribute to what Ten Hag is trying to build. But Brentford is going to request a lot of money. Remember, British tax. Once it's an English player, that price already doubles. If Tony was playing in League One, Tony would probably cost 30 million, 40 million pounds. But playing for Brighton, Tony would probably be going for 60 million pounds. So that's a lot of money to be invested. But I wouldn't mind if we got Tony. I think he offers something different to what we already have in the team right now. Then the last name, Cody Gakpo. Yeah, Gakpo is exciting. He can play across the front lines, left, right, and centre forward. And he will be cheaper than Tony, I think. So I wouldn't mind any of those two. If we can get Tony or Gakpo, it's fine by me. Which then leads us into our youngsters. We are spending all this money rebuilding the team, tweaking things, letting players go. Is there any hope for our youngsters? Remember, was it not 2 summer transfers ago that we shelled out close to 50 million pounds to sign Ahmad and Pellistri? What's up with them? Are these guys are they going to even get a chance to show what they have? It's not looking bright for them, because let's look at the youngsters we have in attack. For example, there's Garnacho, there's Ahmad, there's Pellistri, there is Elanga. Elanga obviously has both foot in the first team. He's training regularly. He's getting game time. Garnacho has 1 foot in it. I said Iqbal. Ahmad is on loan at Sunderland. He started. I think he came off the bench over the weekend. His coach was singing his praises, how well he did in that game. So yeah, perhaps although he didn't do so well at Rangers or as people expected, Sunderland is getting praised. But is there a hope for him coming back? Pellistri is still in the club. He's just recovering from injuries. Into the next few weeks, we are going to be having a very tight schedule, at least when we come back from the international break. So will Pellistri see some game time? It's rumored that Ten Hag has told him that there is no future for him in the United team. That's a rumor. There's absolutely no truth to it. So we can forget about that story. I saw it. I've forgotten the outlet I saw that news. I do not believe it. I do not think it's true. I think he probably might get his chance this period where we are going to be playing 9 games in 3 weeks or 2 weeks. I can't remember. So we're going to be playing two matches every week for the next few weeks. So you would see a situation where Pellistri can get a chance. But long term, if for example we bring in a striker during the summer transfer or January transfer, we now have first teamers already: Anthony, Ronaldo, Martial, Rashford, Sancho. 5 plus 1 other attacker. That's 6 for 3 places, 3 spots. What that means already is that we already have two players per position to rotate. I don't even see how Garnacho can even get in the team. Talk less of Pellistri, Ahmad. I can't even see how Elanga is even before. So you look at it and you say it seems like the best bet for these youngsters would be a loan spell away from the club, which Ahmad is already on. But the type of teams we should be sending these players to should be teams that play the way we want to play. And I've said it with times without numbers. We cannot be sending Ahmad, Garnacho, Pellistri to teams who are always defending. That's not how Man United will play. Man United is going to be playing on the front foot. We should be looking to send them to leagues and teams that play a lot of possession-based football and maybe dominate their leagues. I'm talking the PSVs, the Ajaxes of this world, going to the Club Brugge's. Exactly, those are the teams we should be sending them to, and not teams that will be playing defensive, and then when they come back or they seem like they are not a fit for the United way. Looking at other youngsters, aside the attack, there's Zidane Iqbal. We're also talking about getting another midfielder. Is Iqbal going to get game time? I do not think so. In January, if we can find a loan spot for him, let him go. I do. Players that I think have a chance: Zidane Iqbal. I think he is a future Man United player. Garnacho, I think he's a future Man United player. And then the last person I'm going to talk about, Alvaro Fernandez. I think he's a future Man United player. Fernandez, he played over the weekend. I think played about 65, 70 minutes for Preston North End. And when the coach substituted him, the fans booed the coach, which shows that he must have impressed the fans. He was our under 23 player of the year last season, I think. So I think he has a shot at the team. He's only 19, and as we know, the left back spot is still, I think in the next 4 or 5 years, the left back spot will still be up for grabs, or there will still be room for competition. So if Fernandez can grow the way his potential suggests he will grow, I think there's a spot for him in the team. For the rest, Ahmad, Pellistri, Elanga, McNeil, I think the jury is still out on them. It's up to how they perform now, because the competition in those areas of the field is extremely stiff. You get, will they prove to be worth it? Time will tell, but if I'm being honest, it doesn't look too promising for a lot of our youngsters. But yeah, it's United. We have a tradition of always bringing youngsters through, and I wouldn't be surprised if the 3 names I called in 4 or 5 years are starting games regularly for United. Yep, that's it for today's show. Don't forget, this channel is for Man United fans by a bona fide Man United fan. I would love to get your opinions, your feedback, your reviews. Tell me what you think about the news we've discussed. What would you like us to talk about? This channel is for you, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with as many Man United fans as possible. Let us grow this community. Till next time, it's Up United.